Look at all these little oak trees. They're everywhere. I didn't have very much luck with mine because the window, I think it was too dark and it wasn't getting enough sunlight. They're just everywhere now. And they just didn't sprout. Hi everyone. I don't know how this video is going to go today, but I'm just going to try to repair a few things, and I'm still doing the oak trees, but I'm not sure how it's going. They don't seem like they're growing in the house. So first, I have repairs to do, and this is a really good rake, but it broke. The way they make these handles, they don't seem like they're made very good, or the grain, and I tend to break them anyway. So I don't know, I'm being cheap or they're cheap, so I decided I'm gonna make my own handle, because what's the point of going out and buying a handle if it's gonna break again, right? So I'm just making one. I just made it. I just went and found a piece of wood. I took this and I just cut a little bit off so that it would fit in here. Like I said, I could use this, but this is more for like a mop handle or something. So it's not really the right kind, and it might break anyway. Because when you're raking, you know, you're putting a lot of force on this. So I might as well use this, and if I break this, you know, it doesn't really matter because it was free. So now I just gotta get it in there, make sure it fits, and then I've got a screw ready. I'm just gonna screw it in on this side. Not sure the best angle. Like this. I think that's good, yeah. Okay. Here's my screw. Trying to get some things repaired. But you know, when you live at this elevation, the spring's kind of short. Like it goes from being cold, like even last night it was cold. During the day it gets warm, but by June it will already be like 90. So when you live at the higher elevations, you don't get that slow, you know, welcome to spring. It just kind of happens really fast. This is not easy. Well, I mean, even if this only lasts, you know, for a month, better than going out and buying one and only lasting a month. All right, that's good enough. So that's one project. Now I'm going to plant some seeds that I'm going to rake when I'm done. I have my acorns with my oak trees, but they're not really sprouting. So I thought I would just plant them. There's so many oak trees growing, but they're not growing where I want them to. They're just growing everywhere. Like I'm gonna probably have to pull them because they're. I don't want oak trees just growing everywhere. I would like them to be growing in one place. This one's bad. Some of these got moldy. So I don't know. This was not a good idea. I think this is like the third time I'm going to try something different to try to plant them. I think I'm just going to plant them in like a pot, maybe together, because when I did the egg carton, would they get too cold at night? I don't have a greenhouse. I don't want a greenhouse because I'm afraid something's going to fall on it. And so what's the point of having that if it's going to get wrecked, right? So I do have like a tarp, like a plastic tarp, or plastic, just a sheet of plastic that I put over. But was thinking I was just going to do something like small just to get by until next month. So I was going to just do, like, maybe cut this in half and do one side here. I got some milk cartons too. So I don't know, let's see how this works. Dangerous. I think scissors would be smarter, but I don't want to go and get them. Yeah. I think I gotta get the scissors. All right, let's see. So I got zinnias, some flowers. The hardware store up here has some really nice things, like, you know, things that you almost couldn't find anywhere else. But their gardening center is not that great because I just don't think there's a lot of gardening going on up here. It's more of a summer thing, because you cannot really plant things to grow until like after like May 20th. So the growing season is kind of shortened unless you have a greenhouse. It's very similar to like when you're up in the places like Canada, where they have to grow things like in greenhouses before they put them outside because it's just too cold. But we want, of course, you know, summers in Alaska is very sunny, but it just doesn't get warm enough until June. So it's similar to here. I don't know how to explain it. I don't have the vocabulary to explain it, but that's the best I could do. So I got cilantro and I got zinnias. I don't really like to grow things much anymore. It's not much fun when, like, my tomatoes didn't really start producing until like October, which was really weird. So it's a combination of really bad soil and then the weather. And it can get cold at night, so unless you're prepared for that and to cover things, which it's hard. It's hard to keep on those things all the time when you got other things going on. Also, you know, I'm not sure why this is, but they are encouraging the pot farmers to come up here and grow, which is basically only in the summer, but they are growing year-round in these greenhouses. But I don't know why they can't grow somewhere else. It feels weird to me, honestly, because we have so few jobs here. And why can't they just make jobs here normal jobs? Why are they always kind of foisting off these things on us? Like we already have a problem with poverty and lack of jobs and our economy, and there's just not a lot of people coming up here. Even tourism is very low. Why can't they hire people here? They're always hiring people in other places and then sending them up here, or they're hiring the people here and sending them other places for like odd jobs. But like a lot of people, they are not from this area, do not understand. It's different. Like I'm explaining this to you, but also the fire danger. There's just things that we know from living here, how to use a chainsaw, how to use a generator. These aren't necessarily things that the average person needs to know on a day-to-day basis. It's not something you do need to know when you're working at a desk job, you know. So anyhow, I am going to plant these. I need to go get my scissors. Hang on. Well, I got my scissors. The sun is going down. So around 5:30 right now. It's been nice for the last few weeks. It was supposed to rain today, but I don't think it did. A little cold last night, but I'm worried because it's already getting warm. Like it's going to be probably mid 70s this week, maybe even 80. So let me go get some water. I'm going to cut one of these in half. I think I'm just going to plant some of these into the ground over there. But the oak trees, I'm going to leave them in a container because they just root so much that you can't move them. So I need to put them in something. Maybe I should use one of these. Plant them in one of these. I don't know what to do. I don't know how this video is going to turn out because it's just me. It's just me doing repairs and things. So I'm going to rake it a little bit, and then I'm going to go get some potting soil and water. I may have to go get some more acorns. This is such a shame because these just they're not sprouting at all. I mean, maybe it's just too cold in there. I don't know. Hey, this is my metal rake, which is nice for small jobs, or when I'm working with fire, I can, throw the leaves in there without it getting burned or melting. As long as you don't leave it in there too long, because you can melt this. It's metal, but it will melt, and it's not good for it. But little jobs. This is a lot of leaves, so it's just easier to do with a big rake like that, a big plastic rake. And the chicken has just been pooping everywhere, so I have to clean up after her. And sometimes she just does it every day, although she's gotten a lot better. Walked off with the water. I don't know how to smell carp ready. I don't know where they are. I don't think I used them all. So I'm just trying to clean up around the trailer, and I want to get rid of some of these acorns because they're starting to grow everywhere, and I don't want them to. No. Go. No. Bubby, no. I'm working. I don't like this method so much, but I don't want to lift it into a wheelbarrow. Bubby, go. I don't want to put it in a wheelbarrow. I'm just going to go put this over in the compost pile. I don't know, this is not that strong. I can tell it's just too bendy. Bending too much. But it's not going to break, I don't think. You gotta really, some of this is wet. If it's wet, it's even harder to break. That's when it breaks. When you put force on it and they're making it, cutting the handles against the grain to save money. In the olden days, handles didn't break because they were just made solid. But they are making things cheaper now to save money. They're saving them money, not saving us money. You can go buy a fiberglass one, but they can cost 3 times as much. They already marked up the prices, so you can't even afford those cheap wooden ones. It's ridiculous. You know, when you have to replace everything after a disaster, it matters. You're just getting price gouged, you know. They don't care. Because they're making money. I'm trying to save money, you know. Like when what's the point of just giving someone money to make something cheap? That's not socially conscious. You know, stuff's going into a landfill somewhere. It's not just a wooden handle. You know, the stuff has to be composted. So the less we have to compost, the more, you know, better for the environment. So I don't really understand how people can say, you know, let's make things sustainable, and they're not. Like it's not just something you say. It's something you actually have to actually follow through on. There's too much to rake. So I do little patches like this, and I'll get it all done. That's enough for today. I'm tired. So I started this video a few days ago, and I just sort of stopped in the middle because I didn't really have the acorns weren't sprouting, and I didn't have the garden ready. So it's a few days later. I kind of got unmotivated. It's getting warmer. I don't know if you've been to California, but it gets really warm during the day, and then it gets kind of cold at night. So just dealing with that, and you know, doing things. My drain still doesn't work. I'm trying to clean inside. I found my t-shirts, but I'm trying to clean. I have this little steam cleaner that I got at Walmart, but it's not very good. It's kind of frustrating. You have to basically put the water in hot and then empty it, and there's so much dog hair. It's just sort of self-defeating. I don't feel like I'm making any progress. And then the dirt, the dust is red, and it's really hard to remove. And it just seems like it stains it stains shirts, clothes, walls, and the carpeting. And there's only a little bit of carpeting, and it's just annoying because I have to. It's not a very good cleaner. The pipe thing is very rigid, and so I'm working really hard, you know, trying to clean. It's just not doing it. So I'm kind of annoyed, you know. I don't know how much that thing was. So anyway, there's a few days later. I'm going to go out to the garden, and I'm going to finish the project. What's going on? I'm going to come outside. you guys doing? Are you waiting for me? Cookie, what's the matter? I don't know whether she wants to come inside, lay an egg, or what, but I have work to do. I got work to do, you guys. We got to finish this video. It's not going so well. I got to go out to the garden and finish it. There's things to do. There's things to talk about. Here, Cookie, you can have marshmallow. Here. You guys, the things that she likes the most, and this is all I can figure out, is she likes marshmallows. You got to treat your chicken right. If you do not treat your chicken right, they're not going to produce eggs. And that means you got to keep them safe and warm. They need a place to lay their eggs. I give her meat, not very much, just a little bit of meat every day. That's like protein, because basically all that they eat is it's like, I think it's corn. I don't really know what it is. I think it's like corn though. That's what their meal is. So I try to give her some meat. She likes flaked coconut. She likes that sweet flaked coconut. She likes blueberries. She doesn't like them, a lot of them, but just a few blueberries. She really likes, like maybe 4 or 5 of them. A little bit of meat. Sometimes she will eat other things, but like melon. But sometimes I have to leave the melon out for a while before she'll eat it. But things like that, she likes meat and fruit and marshmallows and coconut. Okay, now off to the garden to finish this video.